Hey everybody, Joshua Robertson with LifeGrove. It's interesting that we can look around the world and recognize its impermanence and at the same time seem to struggle with change. That is to say, intentional change of ourselves. We have these dreams and these ambitions and these things about ourselves that we want to improve, and yet those first steps down the path of change can sometimes feel like our first steps in life. And it's interesting because it really has to do with the way that we are built. It has to do with our brain and how it functions. We have these thoughts and feelings and behaviors that are all interconnected in these neuronal connections in our head that almost write the script of who we are as a person. And they start developing before we even leave the womb. And before we have consciousness of how this all comes together, or we really have a firm definition of who we are or who we want to be, many times it feels like the framework has already been built, or that we have already been sculpted into who we are going to be. But it's not true. There's such a thing called neuroplasticity, which means that we have the capacity to change who we are, change how we think, change how we feel, change how we behave through intent, through mindfulness. It just takes practice. It takes as much practice as it took when you were young, in your early childhood. The repeated process day after day of engaging in whatever it is that you want to become. It's just doing it with intent. So take some time today. Think about who you want to be, what you want to achieve. Think about what those steps look like to be there, whether it's a thought that you need to permeate in your mind, or whether it's a feeling that you want to be aware of, or a behavior that you need to engage in more of. Think about it, write it down, and practice it every day. See how your life changes.